cover for 60 miles before it started to thin out. But tonight, and every other summer weeknight, the road shot straight and true into deeper and deeper blackness, where the exits were few and far between. Her exit, just 3 miles up, was what worried her. That particular 2-lane road was one bunny shy this week, thanks to her, and she greatly feared a repeat of last week's carnage. She took the ramp more slowly than usual, stopped at the top, and spent a long time looking both ways before easing right onto the 2-lane road. There was no moon tonight, and the darkness seemed to swallow the beams of her headlights, as if she were shining them down the throat of a monster. She slowed even further as she approached the S-curve through the woods where the bunny had once lived, and that was the only reason she didn't run right over the large black shape in the middle of the road. As soon as her headlights hit the thing, she recognized it as one of those large plastic bags the volunteer crews used to pick up the occasional litter on road clean-up days. Still, it had startled her, and she could hear her heart pounding in her ears as she pulled over onto the shoulder and stopped. She sat there for a minute trying to catch her breath, her fingers still curled tight around the wheel, eyes wide and fixed on the bag. "Relax, Marla. Blink, for God's sake. It's not an animal, not a person. It's just a bag of trash." Normally, these bags were carefully placed on the shoulder for the township truck to collect. But this one was smack dab in the middle of the 2-lane road, and a genuine hazard to any vehicle coming around the blind S-curve at a normal rate of speed. It never occurred to her to simply drive around it and go on. Her mind was already busy imagining a speeding car zipping around the first bend in the curve, slamming on the brakes, veering off the road, and plowing head-on into a tree. It was only after she got out of the car that she also imagined that same speeding car running into her, while she was trying to drag the bag off the road, which made her move a lot faster. It was surprisingly heavy, and it made a terrible scraping sound on the pebbly asphalt as she tugged and pulled it by inches toward the shoulder, and that was when she began to suspect what was really in the bag. She released it with a little squeal and a shiver and backed away. Motorists killed more deer on this particular curve than all the hunters in the county managed to bring down during hunting season. You didn't think much about what happened after the accidents, unless you happened to see the roadkill crews making their rounds, loading grisly remains into the open-backed truck that hauled them away. Sometimes the job got messy, and then they had to use a shovel and a bag. Apparently this particular bag had fallen unnoticed off the back of the truck when it accelerated on the curve. Marla looked down at the bag with a mixture of sadness and distaste, understanding the heaviness now, seeing the telltale swells and lumps that clearly marked a large object and not a collection of discarded cans and paper. At least she hadn't killed this one, hadn't witnessed its violent end, which made the job ahead a little easier. She wondered absently why it didn't smell, murmured a brief prayer that the bag didn't rip when she tried moving it again, then bent to her work. This time she put her back to the side of the road and tried pulling the bag toward her. The large animal inside shifted and rolled with the first tug. Marla winced but kept at it, right up until the moment the bag snagged on a sharp piece of broken asphalt, tore open, and a bloody human arm fell out. Marla snapped upright and stifled a choked gasp. For a minute her mind didn't work at all, and then when it started up again, it manufactured terrible pictures. Not that there was a dead person in that bag, because that was a reality she just couldn't accept at the moment. What occurred to her instead was that in the movies, just when the heroine thought she was safe,